If you want to win this jet, all you have to do is subscribe, click the notification bell, and the like button. Then check back with me from time to time and see my new videos. Once we get to 1,000, we're going to do a drawing. I had a drawing at 100 and only 30% signed up. With those odds, it could be a 1 in 300 chance. Subscribe. What? Tell me all about it. Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. Let me give you an update on my DX7S screen. So, working on the 636 video, or the program series video, we're going to use the DX7S. And it's a pain in the butt to record the screen. But it's more of a pain in the butt if the screen doesn't light up. In the menu of the DX7S, in system settings, it said LED brightness. And for as long as I've owned it, I didn't buy it new, I've always adjusted it to 100% or whatever, and the screen never lit up. Well, I bought a DX8 a while back, broken. I think I got this for 20 bucks. And I got it for the switches and the roller and the screen to use in my DX9, because the DX9 screen was starting to fade. So I took it apart and I took the screen out of it, put it in the DX9, and then I put the DX9 screen back in the DX8. The screen was still good, but it was just starting to fade. I had to raise the contrast quite a bit. And so back to the DX7S, it said LED brightness, but it never lit up. So the DX8 had an LED backlit screen. So that got me thinking. Use the LED backlit part from the DX8, put it in the DX7S. Well, as you saw, I took the 7S apart and there was no backlit screen. The light up part that goes behind the screen, it wasn't there. Why is it in the menu and it's not even there? It's not an option. I don't know. Probably somewhere in the firmware upgrades or something that happened to sneak in and it wasn't supposed to. So here's where I stand now. I've taken both screen PC boards out, and I've taken the 7S whole board and put it in the 8 just to see if the 8 worked, and it didn't. And I don't know if the PC boards are interchangeable or not. So the 7S didn't work in the 8. So then I put the entire 8 board in the 7S. That didn't work. So either they're not compatible or the DX8 board is bad and the radio is bad. So in this video, I'm going to take the screen from the 7S and the backlit part from the 8 and make the DX8 a lit up board. But I need to solder those two little microscopic connectors for the power to the LED backlight. So wish me luck. Let's get that screen lit up, and then we'll have a lit screen to do the 636 build video to continue on. Sean, quit looking away before you're done. All right, got it. Okay, let's get to work.
Okay, guys, step one of the DX7S, that I just found out that when it says the LED brightness, that it is actually supposed to have a LED screen. I thought maybe when I did some kind of an update, it was accidentally there for like the DX8 or something. Here it says LED. Yeah, I've never had an LED screen on. It never lit up. So being that I now know that it's supposed to light up, I'm going to take my donor DX8 transmitter and try to take the screen out of it and put it in here, or see what's wrong with the broken screen. So first things first, get the battery out of here and get it unplugged. This is the 2000 lithium ion 2S battery. It lasts a long time. All right, so we got that guy unplugged. This right here is just the foam packaging that a transmitter comes in. So it's good to use to work on them because all the protection for your switches and your gimbals. So I know there's some screws underneath these rubber grips because of the DX8. So I'm going to try to access those without causing any damage. There's a little bit of a sticky backing, plus there's like these rubber plugs that go into a hole in the they kind of hook in there. You know, like when you push the rubber plug down so far that it expands into like a cavity. So we're going to try to make sure we don't mess any of that up, and I can put some more rubber cement or something. See, there's one of the little rubber nipples right there. So let's see if we can gently, I'm kind of cutting the glue with the screwdriver too. There's another one of the little plugs. All right, see all the little rubber things, and there's just a little bit of glue, so we'll be able to clean all that up. All right. Yeah, I was looking on eBay, and I saw a DX7S for sale, and they had a picture with the screen lit up. I said, I'll be darned, it's supposed to have a lit up screen. And I've got the DX8 with a good screen, and we're doing all this programming with this transmitter, so it'd be good to have the screen. All right, so the rubber grips are off. I got a handful of screwdrivers here. We'll see which one fits it the best. I believe this one does. Yep. And yep. All right, we'll just start with that. It should be 6 of them, I believe. Probably have to just dump this over and get the screws to fall out. Or maybe my little pocket screwdriver with a magnet. Get them. Let's see if it'll grab that one. Not quite yet. Yep, it'll get them. Sweet. Oh, and these side pieces, the rubber side pieces will have to come off too, because they hold the two halves together. Just remember that. But I think I only have to separate like half of it. And there's a couple up here at the antenna. Not quite. I'm just going to flop it over. 1, 2, so that makes 3 out of 6. Both up top. And this guy right here. Well, we might just have to wait until we separate it. Yeah, here's the little rubber strips on the sides that need to come undone as well. So, let's see how we can go about doing this. I definitely don't want to miss the little, I don't know which one we call them, the little rubber studs or something that pop into the holes. Don't want to mess those guys up. If I do damage one of these, I got the ones from the 8. I thought about taking some of the guts out of the 8 and put them in here or something to try to get an 8 channel out of the deal. But I haven't gotten that far to figure it out. The DX8 was complete when I got it. I got it for dirt cheap, but it didn't work, obviously. When you turn it on, just the little vibrate feature that it has, that's all it did. It was bzzz. That's all it did. All right, we'll leave it like that. Since that's enough to get it where we can split it open. And you can't just pull these halves apart real quick because there's wires going to the, connecting both halves in there. You need to kind of clamshell it open pretty gently. All right, so can't forget about our screws. Make sure you guys get a good view. See what I mean about the wires right there? So you don't want to yank it open real quick. So definitely mess something up. This would be a good point, or a good time to kind of do that. And then sometimes these plugs have a lock. Ooh. There we go. Got it. All right, so those other 2 screw heads are, so I can't push them out. There's 4. There's 5. And 6 is right here. Well, we'll just remember that 1's in there. Well, there's the inside of the DX7S. I'm gonna blow it out. So this is the front half of my DX7S transmitter, and when I showed you in the beginning of the video, in the system settings menu, it showed that I could pick the brightness of the LED screen. Well, my donor radio, the DX8, just like this, but 1 more channel, I took the screen out of it to put into my DX9. But the LED screen part of it is still good from the DX8. Well, now, as I'm looking at the back of the DX7S, right in this area where those 2 prongs are right there, there's a plug for the DX8 screen to light up the LED, the backlit screen. Well, this transmitter obviously doesn't have a backlit screen. Why is it in the menu? I don't know. Here is the DX8. See that little plug and this right here? That's for the backlit screen. So I think I'm going to put this whole PC board in there and see what happens. Well, I've compared both PC boards, and they're the same. All the writing is the same. The barcode is a little bit different, but all the other stamped stuff is the same. I'm going to try to put the whole board in there. So I just need to get these unplugged. Gently. Make sure they didn't have a lock on them. No, they don't have a lock. They're just in there pretty good. Just like that. I'm just kind of prying, getting under that lip. There we go. That. And then got this one over here. That. Do one more plug under here. This is where the memory card goes. It's just got some plugs going down in there. Just like that. Got a bunch of dirt, some sand or something. And then there's the little vibrator wheel, which is right there. We need to get that guy out. There's the vibrate wheel. Now we just need to unscrew the screws from the board. Looks like it's just 4 corners. I'm looking at the one I took out from the 8 to figure out what screws I need to take out. But it's just, there wouldn't be anything in the middle because the screen is there, so that's kind of a, an easy little hunch to help you. So there's that. All right, so I got the board out. All right, so this is the screen PC board out of the 7S, and the one on the left is the DX8. No difference, except for this little plug right here, which is for the LED backlit screen. See the white right there? There's nothing in there, it's hollow. That's where the backlit can slide in. If the DX7S had that little plug right there, I would just slide the the backlit part in. But it doesn't have the plug, but it would be soldered right there, and I can't solder that small at all. No possible way. Now the only other way to power the backlit board would be for me, I'd have to run wires all the way up to something I could solder into, like directly to the battery pack. something like that. Here's where we're at. I've done the flip-flopping, like I said in the beginning, trying the video screen from the DX8 in here, and it didn't work. And then I tried this good screen and PC board in the DX8, and that didn't work. So either the board is bad, this one came out of the DX8, either it's bad or it's not compatible in the DX7S. And then I tried the good board and the good screen from the 7S in that DX8, and it didn't work. So either they're not compatible or the DX8 is just completely gone. So I'm going to take the screen out of the DX7S again, and then I'll give you some good close-ups on what's going on, and we're going to do some soldering. Look here, I found this tool extremely helpful. I think this is for crocheting. It's got, you know, two little spoon things on it, and they are really good for getting in small spaces and working. And right here, you got to lift a little corner up on these plugs, and these things just been working out really good. Awesome little tool to have.
Okay, here's where we're at, guys. This board right here is out of the DX7S. It works good. That's the little vibrator wheel. There's the screen. So this entire setup is good. This board is out of that DX8 that is either bad or it's not compatible in the 7S. This is the screen that came out of the DX8, and you can see that it's got this white backplate and this little positive and negative wire. The positive and negative wire goes to this, and this is just a light that goes behind the screen to give it a backlight. Putting this backlight and this little housing in between my PC board and the screen is not a big deal at all. The big deal is right here. That's where this little plug plugs in. On my DX7S, it has the place to solder that plug, but no plug. So first I'm going to desolder the plug from this board just by heating up this solder right here and pulling those away, and that should leave us 2 pins to push through here and then solder it to the back side. So let me get set up, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay, I'm set up. I've got my soldering iron. This is actually, that soldering iron came from Radio Shack a long time ago in a really cool case. I've had it for a long time. This in front of us is a old internet cable modem, and I got it for some reason to take it apart. But look in here, there's a lot of antennas that sure look like they might work in a receiver or one of our transmitters or something. It has all the same little connectors. And anyways, I'm going to practice desoldering a couple things just to figure out, you know, how fast I need to be, how hot, before I get one shot to take it off of this one. Okay, so I got a pair of needle nose pliers. Let's try to get this guy off right here. Let's just see what it's going to take, and then we'll try something else without All right, that tip was not good. Now I know why it was in the drawer where it was at. So I got a better tip. It's actually tinned really well. I don't know if that helps or not, but let's try this again. We don't care about this. I just want to see how hard these things come off or whatever. Well, I tell you what, these jokers are in there. Another one right here that we were working on. Seeing this is bad for the board. And I need to be like precise. All right, here's what I'm after to try to desolder. Is this plug right here, because I want to put that on the DX7S board. And those are the two little dots that I need to heat up and pull it out of there. Then I need to stick the plugs through the board on my good one and try to solder them. Alright, I'm going to take my new little crochet tool and kind of put behind it to kind of put a little pressure on it. Let's see what it looks like here. I thought it came out right there. It almost did. Almost got it. Okay, so I rigged up a little vise. Just got to get to go a little bit more. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my smallest drill bit out of my little hand twist drill kit, and I'm going to drill these two holes clean, just like these other ones in the board that aren't used. See those ones next to that US Australia sticker, how those aren't used and you can see through them? I'm going to make these two like that. Then I can stick the plug through it and maybe just touch it with a soldering iron and it'll solder. If not, if I mess up, the DX7S is now a paperweight. Okay, so I now have two holes right here to put the little plug through. I ended up succeeding with my little drill. I tried a needle and a little torch. I even tried how you're supposed to do it with a solder sucker, and I was just too scared to ruin the board. Yeah, but you can see over here, these are all holes. You see my finger moving on the back. So those are all holes that are not used. So now I have some holes to hopefully push the plug through, and then we'll just touch it on the back. That's the plan. Plug, and that's it going through. Now I think I'm going to bend one of those tabs over a little bit. No, I just need to try to touch it with a soldering iron right there and see if it stays. It's not, the solder wasn't really sticking to it. It needs the tip needs to be real shiny.
You need to put solder on it and like let it sit there for a minute and then kind of wipe it off. And got to get it all shinies. I was just going to put a little drop on the end of it. Not going to take much. I've already got a little bit on it there. Get an idea how my hands aren't steady like they used to be. Come on, man. All right, guys, it's in there. It's I don't know if you call it soldered, but it's there. And you can see the little shininess. I put a little dab of 5-minute epoxy right there too. It just gives me a little I don't know, makes me feel a little bit better. Well, soldering job didn't work, or the board wasn't capable of it, but it just said so. Regardless, I tapped into the back side of where the battery plugs in to the transmitter, and then I ran that to a small BEC into a switch I took off of the DX8. I put that switch in the battery compartment, and then it'll power that plug right there for the LED. I'll just have off and on. Okay, we got our DX7S here. And we didn't kill it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom. Better than nothing. Learned some things and had a little fun tinkering with it. That's all that matters.